A few years back, when I was 17 years old, I went to a party. Everything was alright until the host started getting really intense and creepy. By that point, it was around 3 a.m. and I was pretty drunk. I decided to call an Uber in order to avoid any advances from any guy. The Uber shows up and I try to sober up when I get in. The driver starts making small talk with me, and in the state I was in, I failed to see the red flags. He starts to ask me about the party I was at, and I told him about the creep, and then he told me it was because I was short and cute. He then asked my age, and sensing a weird vibe from him, I told him I was a minor, thinking that would deter any further advances. But it turns out that was a horrible idea. He was driving pretty recklessly on the highway, and I snapped out of my drunken stupor real fast. He then asked me to go get drinks with him that same night and told me he really liked me. I quickly told him I'd get grounded if I stayed out any later, and that my mother was awake and was waiting for me at home. When we got to my home address, I noticed the doors were locked, and he kept on insisting on us going to get a drink, even though by now it was almost 4 a.m. I tried to act as nice as possible when I told him I couldn't that night. He then asked for my phone number and told me we could go out the next day. So, not being the first time that some creep had asked me for my number, I gave him my number, but changed the last digit so he couldn't actually contact me. But then he actually dialed the phone as I was getting out of the car. Of course my phone didn't ring, and he started getting agitated and said I gave him the wrong number. I played drunk and stupid and recited my number again, but actually said it correctly in order for him to think he heard the last number wrong. He chuckled and said it was his bad, and he told me we'd see each other the next day. I made my way into my house and immediately woke up my mom because I was terrified. She managed to calm me down and told me to go to sleep, so I went to my bedroom and started putting my pajamas on when I heard my phone ringing. The Uber driver was trying to video call me, and I lost my shit when I saw that on my screen. I immediately denied the call and then noticed he'd sent me about 15 messages asking what time could he come back and pick me up. I blocked him right away and thought that would be the end of it. The next day I got a text from an unknown number and checked the picture and saw it was the driver. He asked me why I'd block him and started spamming me. I immediately blocked him. Over the course of the next month, I'd get messages from random phone numbers, and it quickly became obvious that it was the driver. I would also block him, but eventually I reported him on the Uber app and changed my number. The only problem is, he knows where I live.